Welcome to the N.W.A. Nerds with Attitude. I am one of your humble hosts, Shin Hero, aka Walt, and we almost got a full house today. We almost got everybody except for Jimmy. It's always Jimmy. Always that nigga. We got Animus Prime JR up here. Nope. Up here somewhere. We got Isaac, O Hunter Rage, here somewhere. And then down at the bottom, we got Founding Father, Flores Bloom Noah.
Yay, say hi.
And we got the MC, the protagonist himself, Zahir. I mean,
His name is not that.
The killer of children as a child.
And we're all talking about the new hotness right now, like a lot of people are talking about, or the things that's getting waves and everything, especially with that new fighting game that came out for League of Legends, or the announcement for it anyway. League of Legends Arcane. We normally do the same thing over and over like we normally do. We'll give our first couple of initial thoughts just in case no one's seen it. If you haven't seen it by now, I know you got Netflix, or you could bum it off one of your cousins or something like that, man. Just watch it. I mean, there's people that I know who don't even like animation. Watch this, then enjoy this. So that says a lot. So, but we're gonna get our initial thoughts on it, and then we'll move into spoilers, like stuff we liked, stuff we disliked, characters, and all that junk. Because it's really hard to talk about a show without spoiling it. So, I will do some spoiler warning thing when we get to that point. But initial thoughts. Onto the floor. So here, what did you think?
You're not calling my baby that. Tell him what you think, man. Tell him what you think. What I think about the show, yeah, man, that show was amazing from start to finish. I'm not even a League of Legends fan, and I thought that show was amazing. The animation was beautiful.
Did this get you into League of Legends?
I wouldn't say it didn't get me into playing the game, but I am interested in the lore now and stuff. The music was amazing. The story, the characters, everything was good about the show, man. I don't got no negatives about Arcane. I'm the one that hates stuff, you know. That hates everything. So yeah, son. I think Walt hates stuff just as much as I do.
You might be right.
Yeah, I have a particular taste. Isaac, give us your quick thoughts on Arcane.
I enjoyed it way more than I thought I was going to. Like Noah said, I feel like we're all gonna probably say this, except maybe you, Walt, since you're into obscure shit. But
League of Legends is popular as hell. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's just not popular with us.
Yeah. Like before this, I only knew like 2 characters, or maybe 3 from League of Legends, and I wasn't into it at all. But I saw the show, and while I may not go on and play the game, I'm certainly interested to see more of, like, you know, if they do more seasons of the show, if they bring in more characters and everything, I would be there day one. Based on this season, it was incredible. Like Noah was saying, I don't have anything negative to say, which is not all that surprising considering I apparently like everything. So, you know.
This man does. He does.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
All right, JR.
I enjoy it.
Yeah. This show is one of the most perfect shows I've ever watched. Like, there was nothing ever bad about it. It's the animation, the story, the characters. I loved everything about it. And like the rest of you, I've never been into League of Legends. Like, I only know like 3 characters. Like Jinx, she's like the poster girl of this whole entire series, and I'm like, I have no fucking clue about what goes on in this game world. But so I was always like hesitant about it. So so when I hear like stuff like saying, "Oh, this is perfect for people who've never watched or ever played League of Legends," like you don't have to play League of Legends to get into this, and that's what I like about this because there's other like game movies or shows that require you to be like, oh, you have to have like a certain knowledge of this specific franchise. But no, this they hold your hand on a lot of stuff, even though it has like a few Easter eggs here or there, probably that we'll never be able to see. But other than that, it's perfect. I love it.
All right, all right. Unfortunately, don't know League of Legends like y'all think I do. I don't. I don't. This is like a clean slate thing too. I mean, I was familiar with some of the characters because I have friends who played League of Legends, and there is like next to like Overwatch, there's abundance of art of League. So like some of these characters is
Yeah.
I just knew just from art in general, but like some of them I was just like But like overall, man, like everybody said, this show is it's great. Like it blew me away. Let's say that. Let's just say that all 3 acts, all 9 episodes. Let me ask you this: did y'all like how they released it in acts? Like that first week, it was Act 1 with 3 episodes. The second week, Act 2 with 3 episodes, and then the last week, Act 3, 3 episodes. Did y'all like that formula that Netflix was doing with that, or would you rather it had been just bingeable, like they released all 9 episodes at once?
I'm going to be straight honest with you. I didn't know they did that at all. I I watched
Yep.
it when it was all out because I was
Me
too
too.
hesitant about it. I waited for like weeks to get myself motivated to watch it, and then I watched it all one night, and I was like, "Shit."
Yep.
Yeah,
Isaac?
but I didn't know about that. So
I did that too. By the time I watched it, all episodes had come out, so I just got to sit there and watch it. Although I definitely did the bingers. What's it called? Is it binger's remorse? When you're like, I'm only gonna watch a couple episodes and then I'll pick it up tomorrow. I watched all of them and it was like 3 in the morning when I finished. So I was like, that probably wasn't the greatest idea, but so
Noah?
Um, I did like this format a lot. It felt like I didn't have a lot to watch, and it gave me more time in my day to do stuff. I didn't have to worry about watching 9 episodes, 40-minute long each. I did like this. I hope they continue doing this
Yeah,
format.
they have started doing the weekly thing because like it kind of mirrors TV. Like it gives you something to talk about at the water cooler for those who, job and all that junk. But it gives you something to talk about during out the week, like get you hyped for the next episode. Because they've been doing that with a few anime and a couple other Korean dramas too. Like they're releasing it week to week. So they started doing that. I personally like the binging model, but I was like Noah. I watched it while it was airing, quote unquote, not in one sitting. But like I said, I like binging. I like sitting down watching like multiple episodes at one time instead of watching it, especially if it's a show that I easily got into, like Arcane. Um, do y'all, because this has been floating around a lot. This has been floating around on the Twitters and the Facebooks and the what other social medias there are. People are calling this one a masterpiece, and two, they're calling this the best animated show on Netflix. Period. Do y'all agree with that?
I agree with the Netflix part. It
I
probably
mean,
is the best
yeah,
show on
yeah,
Netflix, animation wise. Um, is it a masterpiece? Just this. I think I have to see how the show, finale is. Because, even though season 1 was great, season 2 may be just awful.
Could be garbage. Yeah, you're right.
So
Could
I
be,
think
yeah.
Masterpiece too early to call. So that's my take, man. I'm not gonna just say Masterpiece for one season. We gotta see how season 2 is.
Okay. Isaac.
I would say it's the best because I started to think about what other animated shows are on Netflix, and even though I do have a serious bias for Castlevania, this does blow it out of the water because like this show's
Oh,
fucking incredible.
damn, Castlevania got
Mm,
blown out the water.
And I love
yeah.
me some Castlevania. Don't get me wrong, but Arcane was
Dang.
different, man.
So
Because it's
you
like
really think Arcane is the out of all Netflix's animated properties? That's anime, cartoons, the whole 9 yards. Out of everything that's on their catalog, this is the best one.
I would say so. It's definitely got
Dang.
the evidence for it. Masterpiece, like Noah was saying, I think it's too early to say that. But they do have a good argument to be called a masterpiece. I will say that. There's the potential for it, I would say.
Mm.
Okay, Jr.
Yeah. Now that you guys explain it, it is too early to tell. I like how it's gonna go. They might do something really great with it, but it's really too early to tell. But it's it's one of the best animated shows that I've seen like this year, and it all comes down to like how visually stunning it looks. Because every time you pause it, it always looks like a painting. It looks like a painting. It doesn't matter where you pause it at. It just looks like a straight up painting.
I agree with
Like
you.
every frame, every
I agree. Yeah, those backgrounds they were using too was like,
Mm-hmm.
they were like map paintings, man. It was shit
this is
is
the power
incredible.
of this is the power when you have a company that has money.
Yeah. It's a
Give it
budget
enough
well
money.
spent.
Yeah, give it enough money and enough people that are passionate about this project. Like, give it to the right people. That they were made by the same dudes who did the game, the Riot Games.
Right.
So yeah, give it to like the actual people who knows like what's what, and yeah, they'll do wonders for it.
Okay.
I think Riot was flexing on these other companies. So it's like,
Flick
A
it
little
Oh
hard.
bit,
yeah,
yeah.
oh
so
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
it's like,
They
yeah, look at
certainly
our
were.
money. Look at the money we can do.
Well,
And he's just
Did Riot animate this? What did Riot animate this?
I don't think so. I think another. I'm.
I think it's Riot Games partnered up with another animation company because like
Yeah.
there are game studios that could animate shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
But they
about
were
to
like,
look.
for this show, they were like, here's all the money we made off of people
Off of
buying our
this game.
skins, buying skins in our game.
all
And now we
all
can
of
make a
the
show.
loot boxes, all of the loot
Yeah.
crates, whatever the fuck we sold them on. Just take it, make something beautiful with this.
Look, whoever,
I see
hey,
you, Blizzard.
whoever did it don't have a wiki page.
Mm,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
they're gonna have one after this. Shoot.
People are gonna start asking questions. They're gonna be
Oh yeah.
certain some shit.
I mean, Riot did probably throw them money. Just
Yeah.
a dump truck of money just on there. Animate this. It seems like the same people, if anything, the same people who animated it was the ones that did those like cinematic music videos and stuff for League of Legends. That's what it
Yeah,
seemed
yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Because it's still in
For-
that same type of style.
I love that you said that because I didn't know nothing about the music videos.
Oh yeah, I've seen like a couple of them. They were pretty like they're pretty well done. Pretty well done.
Again, music well spent. Money well spent is what I'm saying.
I
I
didn't
Music
see
is
it.
power.
all right. So I well to answer my own question too. I agree with everybody else. I don't think it's a masterpiece. At the in the slightest. It is way too early to call that, but at the same time, I understand why people are saying that. Why they say it's a masterpiece. Um, but I don't think it's the best animated show on Netflix, in my honest opinion.
I know exactly what you think is the best animated show this year.
Well, if you're counting this year, even still this year, it's up there, but on Netflix in their all their category, I don't think it's the best. There's stuff that I think is better, like Kid Cosmic, for instance. I really like Kid Cosmic. I think that's better.
Yeah, but it has its up and downs.
I enjoyed it. Any,
I
Enjoy
anyway,
it.
enjoyed Cosmic too. I mean, it's just
uh,
Mm.
but there's not a lot I could say bad about that because like there's even more evenly things that I there's few characters that I hated in this, but overall like they grew and I enjoyed them. I wouldn't say there's no bad characters or anything like that, but if we all know this is getting the season 2 and everything like that, because it got announced and everything like that. What happens if the season 2 is dog trash?
it's
Is
dog trash.
yeah, it's
This,
dog.
If we will always remember season one. That's
yeah,
one of the
Yeah,
greatest season ones
pretty much.
of any show.
yeah,
Period.
Does it
yeah.
It'll be,
does it like hurt the show? Because there's
of
shows
course,
that
it does.
people there's shows people that are people like consider is the greatest thing since sliced bread. For instance, Avatar. The third season, Avatar: Last Airbender, not Korra. Korra has its own problems, but Avatar: Last Airbender, the third season, in my opinion, is like super weak, and it's almost like trash compared to the first two seasons, in my opinion.
Hey,
But
dog,
that might
give me, give me, give me another show because I ain't gonna lie. I don't remember when the second season ends and the third season starts. But
Well, like a good example that I think about is, I mean, I talk about this all the time. One Punch Man season one is bombastically badass, and season two, I think, is
It was,
trash.
yeah, it was
I
hot
I
garbage.
think it's only because of the animated studio
It
is
it
what
is
people
absolutely
Yeah,
because of
what
the
people are
animation.
saying why it's
mm,
trash. Season 2 in general, I think is better than season 1. Animated wise, no. I don't think it's
Story
animated
wise,
good.
I would agree, but that animation was everything that got me into that first season, and it hurt.
yeah.
It hurt like it was a giant band aid on my arm, and I ripped it off, and it took off my whole epidermis, and it hurt my dermis, and only gave me my subcutaneous layer for you biologist nerds.
All right.
What a visual description.
Anyway,
You're welcome.
well, wow.
Visceral.
I said overall the show is freaking amazing. I would say that. Overall Arcane is amazing and it's up there. I think it has the potential to become a classic and all that junk. But
Mm.
let me ask y'all this: do y'all think this would have hit different if this was airing on TV? Do you think people would care as much as they do now, or would this like hit and miss? Would this miss if it was aired on TV? Like for instance, maybe on a Toonami or something like that.
Hmm.
um, I would think it would not because it's being aired week to week. Probably because it'll probably miss for some people, or some people won't even watch it because it's on TV. Because a lot of people nowadays don't even have cable. Like I don't have basic cable. All I have is internet. So that's
Yeah.
probably a reason why people would miss it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know nobody personally that has a lot. I know one person that still has cable, but that's it. I don't know too many people that have cable, basic cable still. So I think it'll hurt the show just viewer wise, but it wouldn't hurt to show like if we think it's a masterpiece or it's a great show.
Okay. All right. Well, then we've got to get into. Oh wait, scores. What are y'all giving this out of 10? Isaac.
Okay.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Easy.
Yeah, from my perspective, you gave it a 0-1.
Well, so
Jr.
is that better?
Yes. 10 out of 10.
And Noah.
I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. Also,
All right. 10s all across the board. Now we're about to get into spoilers and everything.
so you giving it a 10 too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sometimes you like to not answer your own questions, and I gotta catch you.
We're about to get into spoilers, and talk a little bit more in depth about the show and all that, John. If you just were still here for our just initial thoughts and non-spoiler thing, thank you for joining us. If you've seen the show and everything, let's go ahead and get into this. If you don't care about spoilers, you're my type of people. Let's get into the spoilers. What is the best fight in this show? Because it had a lot of action.
I'll go first.
It had a lot of action.
I'll go first. It has to be Jinx versus Echo on the bridge.
Okay.
Oh my god!
Yes. %. That was the best fight. When
Oh my
Echo
goodness!
brought out that stopwatch and started swinging it, I was like, I don't know what the fuck he's about to do. That shit about to be hype. I don't know what was going on. I was like, why is he started swinging the stopwatch for? The animation they did before that to show like how his power works, like he can I guess I don't know, stop time, whatever. They didn't explain it. I'm not a League of Legends fan. I don't know what he does, but the way he they show his past. As kids, he used to always lose to Jinx.
Yeah.
And then he finally won. Then the music, that shit was fire. Shouts out to Echo, man. He brought out the stopwatch and just started swinging it. I was like, oh, man. You about to be the first person in the world lose to a stopwatch. A pocket watch. That's what it's called. A pocket watch. I was like, dang. He about to beat her to death with a pocket watch? That's crazy.
Isaac.
It's funny because Noah was talking about the Echo fight, and Echo is like I said, 3 characters in the whole thing that I knew. Echo was the first character I knew from League of Legends, so I was excited to see him. And as soon as I saw him fighting, I was like, yeah, that's dope. But I think my favorite fight is Vi versus whatever Silco's right hand woman is when they were fighting in the bar.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
that
fight choreography of that,
bro. That shit. The fact that she can't there was the one part where Vi took off one of the gloves, drank, put it down, and then put the glove back. She's like, all right, let's go. Oh man, they were just beating the hell out of each other in the bar. That fight was so good, but it's really hard to pick a fight because almost every fight was great. Even Vi and Jace in the factory, when he started finally using his hammer, I was like, oh, he's actually cool. He's not a bitch. Cool.
I was confused on that one though. I was like, he can fight? I thought he was a scientist.
He's dressed so neatly, but he has this badass hammer. Go down to business.
Listen, you don't need to know how to fight to swing a giant hammer. That's all you need. Then it was a gun. Jace is already black, so of course he added a gun to his hammer.
That shit's funny because after I watched the show, I went and kind of looked up some of the characters and how they look in the game and stuff. And I looked up Jace, and he's wearing the same thing in the game. I was like, oh, so that's what he looks like. Cool.
Oh my god, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he wears that, and he's got the hammer. That's his costume.
He goes to work with that hammer.
Yeah. Oh man, let's
not forget that part when Vi was sliding down. Yeah, when she was
Yeah,
fighting down from the
yeah.
rails, man. Yeah, that
Yeah,
Oh
was
yeah.
when the freaking mutant ninjas came out of nowhere, was finna surround that man, and
Yeah.
she.
yeah, man. Yeah, they know what they was doing, man. That's video game interested entrance all day, man.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Jr.
Um, watching throughout that whole thing, I saw like all the fights that were going on. I loved like all the details that were into those fights. There was even I don't know which one. I know that at one point someone like did this, like they blew their nose
And blood
Yeah,
came
yeah.
out.
in
Yeah.
a way, yeah, and blood came out. I'm like, damn, it do be like that sometimes. And I was like, damn, that's a level of detail that I appreciate. But the one fight that always sticks to me, it was always the Echo versus Jinx fight. It was always going to be that fight that stuck with me the most. That had like good presentation. Like when he pulls out the pocket watch and all of a sudden, like the the stylized version of like how the fight would go in his head. I think it shows like his younger self and Jinx's younger self, and they do like the exact same fight that he's gonna do like seconds later, and I was just blown away with that. It was just oh my goodness, it was so incredible.
All right. All right, man. Y'all said a lot of great fights. I would have to say, I mean, besides the fight Isaac had brought up, the winner in the bar, I think the winner, because when Vi came in there, first off, she rolled those dudes' heads in there first. And then when she came in there, they said, get out. And the record played. That's Vi's theme. That's her theme song. And that when that record played and everything, and they started hooking, that was probably the best. But the one that really sticks out to me is in episode 2. I want to say it's either episode 2 or 3. It might be 3 when Xander got captured and they're trying to get him out the chair and everything, and Vi takes his little gauntlet things.
Oh yeah.
And like I was walking up towards that big dude and was like, I got this.
Yeah, that part was
and on the
fire.
bridge,
Yeah.
and she just started going at it like a real boxer and everything like that. Yo, and she was one-shotting them. One-shotting people. Like it was nuts. Was probably one of the best fights in the whole thing.
That is a great fight. You're right.
Mm.
Because they love playing up that whole like the small persons versus the big person. Because the big guy walked up and I was like, oh man, he's gonna pose a problem. She uppercutted him once and he was down.
Yeah,
I was
he
like,
was down.
Got them big old gauntlets square in the chin.
All right, let's glad we got that out the way, and we already talked about how the animation looks and everything like that, because like we could go on and on about how backdrops look, the character design and everything. What about voices? Did y'all like the dub voices that they had? The voice actors? Because I know
I did.
what's her name?
Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah.
Haley
Bye.
Yeah.
I have no idea
I
who
didn't
that
know
is.
that.
She's also Kate Bishop in Hawkeye. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
No idea who that is. Neither the one. Okay.
you think all the voices
Bumblebee?
fit though? You think all the voices fit and everything like?
Oh yeah.
Oh
They
yeah.
did.
Yeah.
They paid some top-notch people for some.
Because
Once
they
again-
have
Oh, yeah.
voice actors
Like
in the game.
At first,
They have voice actors in the game.
yeah, I was
Oh,
gonna
really? They do?
ask like if they actually got any voice actors in the game, because that's what I thought at first. Because usually that's how it goes sometimes. Like if they want to bring in like the original people who like who are those characters. But no, these new people that they bring in, they actually do like an amazing job like portraying these characters the way that they should.
Yeah, man. I liked the voice acting. Shit was great. I ain't had no
Mm.
complaints.
Okay, all right. Was before I jump into the plot and characters and everything like that, Was there anything that y'all disliked about the show? Was there any like nitpicks or anything that didn't sit well with the show, or was this just smooth sailing the entire time?
I
I
don't
hate
got
that
no
the show
nitpicks at
ended.
all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that.
I don't like that we gotta wait a whole another year for season 2,
Yeah,
man.
I know, right?
It's
Oh damn!
gosh
It's
darn
like
it.
that was like Desolation of Smog all over again.
Oh Jesus! Please don't. Oh,
I will say the one thing that really bothered me because in the beginning it was a pretty slow start. It is a pretty slow start. Like it takes a minute for it to ramp up. I mean, granted that beginning when they do that brawl with those other kids in the beginning, the kids are fighting and everything. That big dude with the goggles, he was a beast.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was a
Hmm.
beast. But yeah, I mean, besides the slowness of it, and then there's some things where how Vi acted sometimes, and I mean, I get this is her home and all this stuff, but like her character trope, it rubs me the wrong way at times. But other than that, speaking of characters, we moving in. Did y'all get? Because I know this has also came up on the Twitterverse and all the other stuff. What do you think of the Vi and Caitlyn relationship? Do you think this is going to be a thing, or did they play this off very well, or you just think it's just going to be friends like her and Jace, or what? Do you think that we might get the lesbian couple in here?
Um, I'm going to say I think they did it so well. For me, it can go either way, and I wouldn't be upset about it.
Yeah,
That's
It was
just
done
me, though.
tastefully.
Yeah,
yeah,
it
it
was
was
done.
done
It
very
was done real
tastefully.
well. It was written really well. The characters are great. So if they get together, cool. If they don't, cool. It doesn't really matter. They did a great job with the characters and how the relationship developed and stuff.
Mm-mm.
So
Mm. It
Yeah,
wasn't very forceful. It wasn't forceful at all.
get into characters. Y'all got favorite characters? Do you have favorite characters at all in this? How
man,
Victor?
my boy Echo is MVP with his pocket watch. All right, let's get that out
This
the
man in the
way.
pocket watch.
Listen, even though my
The
man,
pocket
listen,
watch is dope. He's right.
even though my
Mm.
man is struggling, right? He's in the underground. My man dreads was still clean. He still had the clean cut, man. Shouts out to my boy Echo. Give him his own show. Echo
Oh
MVP of
my
the whole
god,
show.
I would watch that show. I swear to God.
Any other
Um,
character you like, Noah?
Uh, Let me tell you about my boy Echo. That man was fire, all right? Okay. I like
I
everybody else. All the other characters are cool.
Isaac, you got two favorite characters? Characters that stand out.
um, actually, I don't know if this is weird, but my favorite character actually turned out to be Silco, the fucking
Really?
villain.
Ah,
Yeah, I thought he was
Sexy.
great. I mean,
Yeah.
besides the point that he looks like a steampunk version of Anton Ego from Ratatouille. Once you think about it, you can't unsee it.
damn it! He has the nose. He has the
Yeah,
nose.
as soon as I saw him, I was like, "You look awful familiar, my guy." But he's a really good character in my opinion because it was like it's very easily done with like a villain character who has a relationship, like he's got a relationship with Jinx,
Mm-hmm.
for it to be like he's just using her. But throughout the show, and it's not even something that you have to warm up to, you immediately know he cares about Jinx. The way that he like lays down everything else to help her or like to go find her or something,
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't give a shit what's going on. He needs Jinx to be safe or to be with him. Cause like plus like the whole he gotta take a needle in the eye, which is honestly one of the most painful things I've ever seen in my life. But Silco is definitely my favorite character, and I would say Victor, because like Victor made my heart break multiple times during this show. Victor had me hurting, man. He
When when he dusted his girlfriend, though, man.
When he,
Oh,
oh
No.
man.
man,
Thanos,
The
his
requited
girlfriend.
love,
Oh, he
the
snapped her.
unrequited love from that girl. I was like, ah, damn it, no.
She was about to pitch the greatest invention ever, too, man.
yeah,
It was gonna be fire. She was about to change the world, man. She was about to
Damn.
Steve Jobs the world, and then she got Thanos snapped.
and it just starts with him because it's like you see the path that he's going down, and you like part of you wants him to stop, but the other part of you is like he's got a point though because he doesn't have that much longer to go, and if this can save his life, then by all means. But then he does the girl, and I'm like, I don't know if I want you to keep going. Please, Victor, stop. Yeah, just I would keep going because I liked almost everybody in this show, but
What
those
did
two
you
are
think?
definitely at the top.
What do you think about the dynamic of Victor and Jace? Did you believe they were homies? They was tight. They were brothers.
It was really cool the fact that like um I assume Jace was getting ready like in the early part. He was getting ready to jump out the building and kill himself.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. And the fact
Yeah.
that Victor shows up, I think people I want to say that some people kind of overlook that point because yeah, you watch them, become practically brothers through science and everything like that. But Jace has an added effect to the fact that Victor effectively saved his life. He walked in there and stopped him from committing suicide. And it's not that he's indebted to him, that obviously brings people closer together. So their friendship is definitely one of my favorite parts in the show because you can tell they would do anything for each other.
Yeah.
And then once things start getting to the point where like Victor has to go see the gross doctor dude that he used to be with, a long time ago. When he goes back to him and Jace is like, dude, I'm trying to lock down the city and you're out here, breaking the rules anyway. And he's still kind of like, I get it, but you can't keep doing this. Let's just keep working on what we were working on in the first place. Yeah, their bond is fantastic. There was a lot of good friendship, and I like how everybody was, even though they were apart and had their own separate stories. At some point, they met somewhere, and somehow they're all connected. Because like the whole thing of Vi blowing up Jace's apartment. And it's kind of weird that he doesn't recognize her, although he saw her like through smoke. But it's funny that she never says anything or nobody ever brings it up or anything like that. But yeah, that friendship was definitely a highlight of the show, and it hurts more.
I will say, because I'm glad you had mentioned the Jace part where he was about to just end it. It reverses with Victor when he was at the
Yeah,
Right.
the sewer
Yeah.
thing, and Victor was about to do it, and Jace came in
and stopped him.
and
Yeah,
stopped him too.
Mm.
That's a good thing. Jr.
They're like, I was gonna say that they were both like each other's saviors at that point.
mm-hmm.
Give me two.
Like throughout this whole story, it's like Vi and Jinx's story, like the story of these two sisters that came from nothing. They lost their parents, they lost everything, and they get taken in by this big man with the heart of gold. And it's just, I love the dynamic of like how those two play into each other. And it's heartbreaking too because like Jinx, she's trying so hard to like gain the approval of the others that when she thinks that she's done right, it all goes wrong. And it's it was such a tragic thing because like when they were captured by Silco, like they were about to be free. That Vander and the rest of the kids, they found a way out, and then Jinx bless her heart, she tries to help, and then it just literally blew up in everybody's face. And Vi, it, oh man, and she had to like just display that anger out on her. I wouldn't blame her. I wouldn't blame anybody at that point. It was all just a bunch of unfortunate circumstances. But it leaves Jinx so broken to the point where it's just she has to cling on to somebody to care about. So she goes to Silco. She she clings to the first person there, and it was happens to be Silco. And yeah, he manipulated her to think that he cares more about her than like her own sister. And man, the characters, the characters, it's just it's hard to say like how much I love these characters, how complex they are.
Mm-hmm.
It's just amazing. So when Vi and Jinx show up again, Jinx just she's overwhelmed by all the swirling thoughts. Like, it, does she forgive me? Does she hate me? Does she does she does she wants to get back together with me? And she sees her with Caitlyn, and she immediately gets jealous, and it turns into a clusterfuck right there. Man, I'm not gonna lie to you. That last part with them all in the dinner table, I was having Death in the Family vibes.
I was thinking about that too.
I was like, when she pulled out that what are they called, the lid and the plate, I was like, no, please
Yeah.
no.
Please don't be a face. Please don't be a face.
Speaking of
Yeah.
that dinner table thing, that little discussion, because that was probably the climax of the whole season and everything like that. That scene right there,
Yeah.
and with especially how it ends with
Oh
Jinx
my
walking
god.
out shooting her. That's our ultimate, by
Mm.
the way. That's our ultimate with the the boom.
Her ultimate
Yeah,
move. Yeah, the
and
shark cannon thing. I don't know.
and do you think Silco was telling the truth when he told Jinx she was, I'll never give you up or anything like that. I wasn't gonna take the deal or anything like that. Do you think
No, I believe.
you believe he
I
was
believe.
gonna give her up?
No, I believe he wasn't.
He wasn't?
It was even in his dying breath. There was no reason like for him to lie at that point. He was dying. He gave everything to save her. And even when all of this all of the um what's that saying? All the pieces were finally coming together for him, he would still like sacrifice it all because he found something that he cares more than like the cause. And he finally understood like what Vander like what he meant. Because he always felt like that he betrayed like everything that he stood for by like giving everything up and just like keeping a low profile, not causing a stir, not like Silco was gonna do. And then at his last moments, he was like, "I understand now. I love Jinx more than anything else. I wouldn't give that up for anything."
Isaac, Noah, do y'all think he was gonna give up Jinx?
Nope, I
Oh,
didn't think he
there
was
was
gonna give up
no
Jinx.
way he was gonna give her up.
He's
No.
not giving up Jinx. 100% not giving
Now let
up
me ask you
Jinx.
this: when he got the gun, we didn't see who he was pointing at, but we saw the direction. Was he pointing the gun at Jinx, or was he
No.
pointing the gun at Vi?
He was pointing the gun at Vi 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100% facts. Pointing that gun at Vi.
All right, all right. Well, Yeah, this was a good talk right here, man. We've been going on for about
Um,
45
really,
minutes. What?
real quick. Here's one of my concerns I have for season 2. Um, Silco is dead, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
He was a great villain, and
Yeah.
I don't think they should have killed him off since he was a great villain. You know, because that's what. Let me compare another show. Korra, Amon was their best villain. You
Yeah.
know, Korra
Until we
I
had.
see
found
what
out.
you're saying. I
Until
see
we
what you're
Yeah,
find
you
saying.
out he
see,
was
Yeah.
a
I
waterbender. Until we find out he was a
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
mind him
Until he
being a
finds out
waterbender.
about
I didn't mind that part at all. Actually,
it. I did.
I didn't mind that part at
He
all.
defeated the
I just
Pilfer.
don't want the next villain. You know, whoever. I don't want Jinx. I don't think if Jinx is the solo villain, I don't think she's a good villain
I don't think
as a solo
she.
villain. You know, I think the show needed somebody else. And this was Silco came into play. But now that he's dead, I don't know who's going to pick up those. Pick up the reins and be the next villain for the show.
I don't know. I was getting inklings that the black chick whose name escapes me.
Oh, she's the villain.
Oh, the
No,
black, the
no,
No,
built,
her mom.
her
the
mom,
built
her mom.
woman.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
Her
getting
mom,
inklings
yeah.
that
the
her
woman.
mom.
Yeah, she's gearing up for something. She's gearing up for
Yeah.
something. I
Okay.
can tell
Yeah.
you that.
And then
I
with the
understand that.
way the last episode ends and everything like that, that
I
might also be another catalyst for the council actually becoming villains
you know.
if everybody
If they
survives.
survive,
I
if
I
everybody
think
survives from that,
I think they're dead, except for the black chick and Vic
Jace.
Jace.
Jace is probably
I
still
want.
alive.
Because
Yeah.
if you
I
guys
want
remember,
that.
like her back started to glow. If you guys like
But
before the impact
Not only
happened,
that, but I feel like Victor, he has serious like villain vibes
Oh
throughout
yeah,
the
he
whole
could
show.
become a
yeah,
Even
villain.
man.
yeah, he
Uh,
has serious sympathetic villain vibes.
But that's my only concern because sometimes at that point I didn't see Silco as like a villain. I seen him
Yeah,
as
exactly.
he went
Yeah.
in independence for his city, you know, the underground, and then he like went about it like the right ways. But you know that's all what he really wanted. But
yeah,
sometimes I didn't see him as a villain, but he was our antagonist.
yeah. I was about to say that. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's an antagonist.
That's my
Plus,
only concern. I don't want them to be like, dang, Silco was their best villain, even though the black mom girl, she may be a good villain. I just don't want them to be like, we're still thinking about Silco. Like, I wonder what happened if Silco was
Yeah.
still alive.
yeah.
That's the only
Plus
thing,
they
man. But
plus in League of Legends they have like a hundreds of other characters that they could like bring in like to play as an antagonist because there are like magic characters in the game and that was like the whole first season that they were like stumbling upon like how to like bring magic to the technological modern world, you know.
and
So
yeah, but that's my only concern I have for
yeah,
the.
All right, I'll end it off with this question right here. Do you call this an adult anime or cartoon? Is this adult animation or is this for kids? I just need a yes or no. And I'm gonna go down the rows here.
I hate these questions. It's so vague.
It's
it's
not that vague.
it's not for
Because
kids.
I don't think it's a kid show. I don't
Isaac,
think
No.
it's an adult animation show. I think it's for those, right there in that good in between. Look at those teenagers. Uh, man.
I know it's not for kids. Shit.
I think it's time to introduce. It's not a kid show. It's not an adult animation show. It's a teen animation show.
For young adults.
Yeah, can
Young
we
adult.
introduce that? Can we have a new category now? No? Okay.
There are young adult
Not yet.
novels. Why aren't there young adult?
Yeah,
like,
man. Like,
Yeah,
cartoons?
but most young adult novels are trash.
I mean, can you name 6 young adult novels you read that was trash?
The Hunger Games,
All of Harry Potter.
Divergent. Harry Potter's not trash. I think Harry Potter's
Yeah,
still
it's not
okay.
trash.
We're getting
man.
off topic.
It sounds like you just like.
We're getting
It
off
sounds like you
topic.
just
All
like
of Twilight.
hate popular
All of
stuff.
Twilight.
Down
Sounds
below.
like you guys hate popular stuff, man. I don't know. You
Down
guys trying to fight a
below.
whole fan
Oh
base.
my God. I'm trying to end this freaking
Oh, my
show.
bad.
Down
My bad.
below.
My bad.
Give us the comments down below what you think about Arcane, and give us 6 trash young adult novels. As we always say, show your attitude, you wonderful, beautiful nerd. Deuces.
You asked the
Deuces.
question. We were just asking.